Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mouthing Off with Mike, the only wrestling podcast that knows when you're in Vegas, put it all on black. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by the man once again. If you recognize him from the Uncle Howdy breakdown, if you'll recognize him from my WrestleMania review episode, he goes by the name of Top Notch Dyson Bennett. What's going on, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Mike. How about you?
I'm living, dude. We got a lot of wrestling to discuss, and I heard through the grapevine that you might very well be in attendance at AEW Double or Nothing this Sunday. Are my grapevines accurate?
I just got my ticket, so I will be there on Sunday.
Let's go!
I can't wait.
We have an inside man. We have an inside man, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, that's gonna be an awesome show. Where are you sitting about?
I'm gonna be pretty much stage side right. So,
nice.
Yeah, pretty good seats.
Oh, dude, you're in for a hell of a show. Ladies and gentlemen, as of the time of this recording, we're recording right after this past week's episode of Dynamite. So if any other additional matches are announced, stay tuned to our social medias. You'll see them right here on the screen. If you're watching the video, if you're listening to the audio, you can find that information at MOWM_podcast. And Dyson, fill the people in with your handles.
You can find me on Instagram at Dyson Bennett, Twitter at Dyson_Bennett, Facebook Dyson Bennett everywhere.
All right, beautiful. That's what I like to hear. So if anything's announced, stay tuned to our socials. We'll break it down, give you who we think is going to win. I'm going to start us off here nice and easy. We're going to ease into things here tonight, Dyson. We've got freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy taking on former best friend Trent Beretta. This is a grudge one here, ladies and gentlemen. Dyson, who do you got in this match?
I have Orange Cassidy winning, but I really want Trent to win just because I'm loving this new, edge that he has to him. And I really want to see how far he takes it. So I would love for Trent to get the victory, but I have a feeling that, the hero is going to conquer and it's going to be Orange Cassidy coming out with the W.
A part of me says that same thing. I also would like to see Trent Beretta win this match. So I'm gonna be bold here. I'm gonna take the other side of this. I'm gonna say Trent Beretta beats Orange Cassidy, and I'm gonna say he beats him clean. Dyson, what are your thoughts? You think a clean win is possible for Beretta?
I definitely think it's possible. I mean, anything is possible in professional wrestling, but I think to push this new Trent Beretta that we're seeing even further, it's got to be dirty. He's got to do something dirty.
Okay. All right. I respect that. Got to play up the heel character. Got to win dirty. I respect that. Speaking of some guys playing dirty recently, the Bang Bang Gang, the Bullet Club Gold, they've been playing a dirty game. They've got the jump on that bastard Pac multiple times, but this past Wednesday on Dynamite, Pac even the odds with reuniting Death Triangle, Penta Zero Miedo, and Rey Fenix is back. Death Triangle is back. We're in business, ladies and gentlemen. This one is for the Undisputed Trios Championship. So hopefully we'll see a new set of titles here, possibly at Double or Nothing. Who do you got in this one, Dyson? Are you guns up or are you Death Triangle?
I am guns up all the way. The Bang Bang Gang is taking the W once again. I feel like they are due for a new set of titles after the Acclaimed had those horrendous pink titles. I'm sorry, I love the Acclaimed, but those titles were horrible looking. So hopefully we can get some nice new trios, unified trios titles for the Bang Bang Gang, and they can be dripped in gold.
I like that prediction, man. I mean, look, you might have upset some hardcore fans because I know plenty of people that really loved those pink trios championships. I was kind of like in the middle. I was like, it makes sense for them. I get it. But let's pump the brakes on giving everybody custom championships. Let's slow it down a little bit here. I think Bang Bang Gang, they're going to get the win. Guns up. I love Death Triangle. I would love to see them win this match, but to be honest, Dyson said it. Bang Bang Gang, they need this win. They need this trios win. And I think them ushering in new championships is the right way to go here because they are Bullet Club gold, right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've had multiple think pieces on this man. I've had multiple episodes dedicated to him. He lives rent free in my mind. That would be the learning tree, Chris Jericho. I have been sucked into the Jericho vortex. I called it the Jericho verse. Jericho wants to call it the vortex. Let him be. Whatever. I like Jericho verse better. It's just me. I'm sucked in. I hate him one week. I love him another week. I understand the character he's got. We've got a triple threat for the world championship in for the world championship rules. So this is all new. I'm guessing they're going to have recycling bins instead of regular trash cans because it's for the world. He's
Man.
the learning tree. Hear me out. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, right? Chris Jericho taking on Hook, taking on Shibata, because Hook and Shibata made Keith. What's his name? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. The Outlaw,
Bounty Hunter.
the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Brian Keith.
Brian Keith. There it is. I knew one of us would get it. So they tapped him out at the same time. Chris Jericho. We're doing a 3-way for this match. Who do you got here, man?
Honestly, I'm giving this to Jericho. I feel like he's gonna take away the W, and kind of make Hook chase a little bit longer for that FTW title. Something tells me that Shibata is actually gonna be the one to get pinned, and not even Hook. So yeah.
Good call on that. I like that. It's a good shout.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't want to admit it, but yeah, Jericho's going to retain the FTW championship thanks to probably the Redwood Big Bill, and I also would agree he'll probably pin Shibata on some nonsense.
Big Bill's
Unfortunately for
definitely gonna
Hook,
be a huge. He's gonna be a huge factor, I think, especially
oh,
because it's triple threat. I have a feeling he's gonna come into play a lot in that match.
this is going to basically just be like a 2-on-2, handicap / tag team match at points. I have a feeling.
Exactly.
Poor Hook though. AEW run whole time just been in the FTW championship chase or held it
Mm.
or is in the chase for that title only. Do you feel there's going to be a point where Hook finally breaks away from this title and transitions into one of the other 90 mid-card titles we have on AEW?
I certainly hope so because I see a whole lot of promise in Hook. I've been a fan of Hook since day one, and I've been like just pleading, like through my TV screen with Tony Khan and AEW to just like get him away from the FTW title for once because I think we got glimpses of it with his match with Samoa Joe, where even though like it was a super big moment, for like the world title, like the fact that we saw him compete for another championship was like very refreshing, and the different competitors that he can go up against because he's not putting this FTW title on the line or not stuck in that FTW title picture. The different matchups he can have would be awesome. So I certainly hope he gets out of this FTW title picture.
I hope so, man. I really do. Speaking of titles, it's not on the line. This is a pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm a little shocked at this, but I can understand the logic and kind of probably where we're headed with this. We've got the IWGP Championship Eliminator match with the champ Jon Moxley taking on Konosuke Takeshita. If Takeshita wins, he gets a shot at Mox and the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Probably more than likely, I'm going to guess Forbidden Door in June would be the spot for that match if it were to take place, right?
I think so,
Safe
yeah.
bet. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm taking Takeshita in this one. I think this is very predictable. The way they've built up Takeshita, he squashed Matt Sydal in about 5 minutes this past week on Wednesday. The guy is incredibly talented. I'm a big fan of his. What do you got here, Dyson? Are we on the same page or are we on different chapters?
Yeah, I think so. I think Takeshita is gonna take the W because he absolutely deserves a title shot at that IWGP World Championship, especially because Jon Moxley's the one holding it. You know what I'm saying? If it was anybody else, hey, that's debatable, I guess. But like Moxley holding it, I think he absolutely deserves a shot, and I'm hoping he gets the W. I'd be very surprised if they gave Moxley the W
Mm.
on
I,
Sunday.
I I think I think if Moxley wins, I think you might have a riot in the streets of Vegas. To be honest, I'm gonna tell you, bring
Probably.
a hard hat or something. Just get low, stay low to the ground if that happens. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Takeshita, if he doesn't win, then kind of a head scratcher, to be honest. A match
absolutely.
that I really, really want to see in person. So I am a little envious of our man Top Notch. They don't call him Top Notch for no reason, ladies and gentlemen. He's top notch. He's gonna be at the AEW. Hell, I'm gonna get Tony Khan. We're gonna get you in the ring if I can do my damnedest, dude. We can make it happen. We're gonna have you cash in
Oh yeah.
the mouthing off with Mike, Money in the Bank or whatever on one of them guys. Look, barbed wire steel cage match. Adam Copeland, Malachi Black, TNT Championship. What do you think here?
Oh man, this is so tough. This is probably like one of the toughest like predictions to make, honestly, because on one hand, Malachi absolutely deserves that TNT championship. Like the way he's, I don't even want to say carried, but the way he's put together the House of Black and the way they have like just reigned dominant over AEW and Collision especially, you know, everything about Malachi screams star. He is 100% a superstar, and I think he's very deserving of that TNT championship. But something tells me that Adam Copeland is going to get the W because they took his wedding ring.
Good
Like
call.
that sent him over the edge, no pun intended, and I think that is gonna just he's gonna be laser focused on Malachi and getting that ring back because Malachi's wearing the ring around his neck now, and I'm like, ooh, ugh, you're messing up there, bro,
Yeah, you're
big
barking up
time,
the wrong tree, brother. Like that's
100%. 100%. So I'm gonna give the W to Adam Copeland as much as I want Malachi to win. I think he deserves to win. I think Adam Copeland's taking the W.
I respect that. I mean, logic here when it comes to pro wrestling, you don't see too much of, but logically, yeah, it would make sense for Copeland to win this match. He's
Hmm.
been fighting them now, and then Malachi steals the ring. Then Copeland got a little bit of revenge Wednesday on Dynamite with the blood being poured from the ring. We've seen this a few times in pro wrestling.
Oh yeah.
WCW they missed big time on that one, and we've seen it with the Spirit Squad, but that wasn't blood. That was something else. And we've seen it most notably with Edge, Seth Rollins on the build up to their SummerSlam match in 2021. So instead of it being,
Hmm.
it was like black sludge. WWE doesn't want to do blood. So I feel this feud is kind of a copy paste for me, which is not a bad thing because I enjoy both of these guys, but I just see a lot of similarities. Like Malachi's bringing the darkness out of Edge. Seth brought the
Hmm.
darkness out of Edge. We got the Brood Edge entrance at SummerSlam. More than likely, we're going to see the Brood Edge entrance in some form with this match. Hell, we might even see Gangrel.
Yeah, that's a big possibility. And I honestly
WWE, let him
agree
do
with
it.
you. I agree with you in that it's definitely very similar, but I'm not too mad at it if I'm being completely
No.
honest. Like when I watched Dynamite and I saw the bloodbath, man, it brought me right back to like the Brood is like the group that I first like fell in love with as a kid. First like learning about wrestling, Gangrel was honestly the first wrestler I had ever seen. So like
Yep.
I've been naturally drawn to these like darker characters and stuff. So to see Edge go back to that and to have that little tip of the hat to the Brood, with the bloodbath, I thought that was so awesome, and I am going to freak out if he makes a Brood entrance with Gangrel on Sunday. I will be fangirling like no tomorrow.
I think it's happening, dude, and I think it's even better because if you're in the building for it, I better see some clips. You better tag me in them clips or get a
Oh,
video. I
for
want to see the
sure,
reaction because that's going to be top notch material. I will say.
100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the win here. I'm gonna go on the other side. I'm giving it to Malachi. with all bets
Yeah.
aside, with everything said here between the two of us, I think this is the precipice for Malachi, where it's kind of like a nut up or shut up type of situation when it comes to a singles championship for him. He really hadn't got a lot of singles opportunities over the last few years. The last time I can really remember was maybe with Cody, and obviously
Yeah.
Cody's not even around anymore. So I need Malachi as a singles champion. I need it now, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to pick with what I want instead of what I think probably is going to happen. Dyson will
Mhm.
probably get the edge on me with this one. We've got the International Championship match against the Bruv purveyor himself, Will Ospreay, the GOAT, the Billy Goat, taking on Mr. Neck Strong, Roddy Strong, for that International Championship. I'm predicting Will Ospreay goes out there and destroys Roddy Strong and becomes the International Champion. How are we feeling?
You and I are on the same page right there because Will Ospreay has he's blown my mind before he was in AEW, and he's blown my mind like 10 times more since he's been in AEW, and I see nothing but him being strapped right to the moon. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's taking the W and that title off of Roddy.
Oh,
As much
absolutely.
as I love Roddy with the international championship, um, I think Osprey's definitely taking it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if I was a betting man, and ladies and gentlemen, I am a betting man. I'm putting the house, the mortgage, the car note, everything on Will Ospreay winning this match. And honestly, maybe I end up as a mole person, if he loses. But I think Will Ospreay, no doubt in my mind. Give me the belt collector, Will Ospreay, Dyson. Get this man all the belts. Give me Kenny Omega 2.0, and then when Kenny's healthy, they can fight about
There
that.
you go. There you go. That's perfect right there.
We're cooking, ladies and gentlemen. We're cooking here.
We're
We're almost
cooking.
through
We're
it, ladies and gentlemen.
cooking.
We had 10 matches at this moment. We're about halfway through it because, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest gimmick in pro wrestling, in my honest opinion,
Ooh.
timeless Toni Storm is defending her AEW Women's Championship against Serena Deeb. And I might add, there has been some entertaining segments with Toni Storm getting knocked out by Deeb, Toni Storm getting naked and wrapping herself in Serena's flag. And now on Dynamite this Wednesday, we saw Serena attack and put her in a vicious Boston Crab while sitting in a steel chair. Who do you got here, Dyson?
I mean, I love Toni Storm. I'm giving her the win. Like, she's just freaking awesome. Like, point blank. Just one of the, like you said, one of the best gimmicks, characters, whatever you want to call it, that I've seen in a long, long time. Um, I'm loving what Serena Deeb is doing too, though. She's another one, like I was talking about, like with Trent Beretta, just showing a whole new kind of fire. And I'm loving every second of it. But Toni Storm's taking the W. Come on now, she's
Oh,
timeless.
absolutely. Dude, another safe bet here because we're in Vegas. Everything's going to be gambling themed in this episode, so of course, you know me
Mhm.
and my themes. Yeah, another safe bet. I'm making millions on the Vegas lines here if I could bet on wrestling because Toni Storm's walking in and walking out as the champion. But Serena Deeb, in your opinion, underrated? Yes, no, maybe so. Because I think she's criminally underrated in the ring. The promos leaves a little bit to be desired about.
Yeah, I mean, she's, in my opinion, severely underrated, especially when it comes to in the ring. I agree with you. Like the promos can, depending on, who her opponent is and, what the subject matter is, I guess, can be a little, you know, shaky, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. But I think Serena Deeb is super, super underrated. She is so amazing in the ring. And like I said, with this new fire she's got, she's showing me a whole nother level to her. So
I love it. I love it.
yeah,
Yes, sir. I agree, man. I agree. We've got two women's matches at the current moment. The other one's going to be for the TBS Championship. The TBS champ, the face of TBS, Willow Nightingale, one of my all-time favorites right now, going taking on the CEO, 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 Mercedes Moné. I don't have no rings to show off. I just got my
Neither do
dusty ass hands. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man,
The CEO of No Gold over here. Look,
yeah, you and
I
me
like
both,
this
brother.
feud. let me Oh, it's over. I'm tapping. I tap. Look, we've lost control. We were 2 matches away, and it all fell apart at the end. Willow Nightingale going up against Mercedes Moné. Everybody on the internet is already cashing in their tickets that Mercedes Moné is winning the TBS Championship. Dyson Bennett, do you agree or disagree that she's winning this Sunday?
Oh, she's definitely winning. I mean, come on, it's her debut. You think she's gonna lose her debut? Come
Uh-oh.
on, she's definitely winning.
There's discourse at Double or Nothing, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm saying Willow Nightingale's retaining.
No way. You think she's gonna
Yes, sir.
retain?
Everyone, this
Oh
is too
man,
obvious. It's so obvious. Like, look, you're a wrestler. Come on, my man. It's way too obvious right now. They
it
literally
is,
told
but
us.
it's so obvious that like I feel like that's the match that we will have a riot if that result doesn't happen.
Really,
I
I
honestly,
think
I think it's so predictable that if we don't get that, it's gonna be like, what the hell? Like, what are you guys doing? You know? But honestly, you're not wrong because, like we said earlier, anything can happen in professional wrestling. So Willow very much can take that W. I think she made a very strong statement last week, I believe it was, where she put her through the table, and I was like, okay, okay. But I still think Mercedes is taking home that W and that title.
I respect it. I respect that, but let me float something your way. What 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 would be fire on a marquee for maybe Forbidden Door, maybe later in the summer, maybe All In, especially All In. CEO versus DMD.
Hmm.
Britt Baker screws over Mercedes Moné, costs her the championship. We get an intense feud with DMD and Mercedes to go through the summer so that the fans who claim Mercedes didn't work for her title can't say anything because now she's in a 3-month-long program, 2-month-long program with Britt Baker. If that is a fantasy booking that I really like to see become a reality, this is one of them because I think that is marquee matchup money right there. And that's not to discredit Willow. I love me some
Yeah,
Willow.
for
That's why
sure.
I want Willow to win. That's why I'm fantasy booking a DMD run in because I want Willow to stay TBS champion because I think there's a lot more that she can do with that title because she goes everywhere. She was in Japan last week to showing it off. She's a workhorse, and I think another one who's super underrated that I think if AEW puts a little bit more stock into her, she could be a top star in women's wrestling. Same likes as Mercedes, Becky, Mariah May, Toni Storm, kind of conversation, right?
I absolutely agree. I love that idea of like Brit coming in. That would be really interesting. But something like to kind of almost piggyback off of your fantasy booking
Shoot.
in this situation, like what if Mercedes does win and then kind of goes on this whole like, oh, I'm the one that's gonna change AEW and I'm the one that made it better now and da 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 da, and that's how Brit comes back. And maybe she comes back in Mercedes match against Willow at say Forbidden Door. Maybe they do a rematch, around 3, and boom, Britt attacks Mercedes after the match, puts her statement on it, says I'm back, and then we lead up to All In, which I believe is what back out in the UK, right?
Yeah, we're back in Wembley.
I think that's the marquee right there. Britt Mercedes All In for the TBS Championship. What do you
All
think?
right, all right. I might be a little bit more inclined with your fantasy booking here. I might have to, give you the pen real quick and let you cook because I do like that. No matter what, we're both in agreement that a marquee matchup down the line is in fact the 3-letter acronym
Oh,
matchup
for
with
sure.
DMD CEO. But yeah, I'm taking Willow. Dyson's on Mercedes. Let's see what happens, because he might hit me up on social media and be like, I told you so, stupid. So we'll see what happens. If I'm right, I'm going to hit him with an I told you so. So it's love both ways there.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Always ready, baby. I love it. AEW World Championship is on the line. We've got Swerve Strickland. Do the dance to no music. Yes. Taking on the patriarch Christian Cage. I think this match has potential to be a top match here on this card, and we've got a lot of top stars on it. The build has been incredible. Callbacks all the way to when Swerve was antagonizing Darby and Nick Wayne at Nick Wayne's family home, getting a picture broken over his head. They retaliated, did the same thing to Swerve last week. Now we saw Swerve destroy Nick Wayne, try to kill Christian in the parking lot. Prince Nana's back. I was missing Nana, so I'm happy he's back in the fold. Unfortunately for Christian Cage, he's got an angry champion. Who do you got here, my man?
I mean, I have to go with the safe bet. As much as I love Christian, he ain't taking that world championship off of Swerve. Come on, Swerve is not letting go of that title right now. So my money's on Swerve all the way. Swerve when I drive, all the way to the bank.
Swerve when I drive, all the way to the bank, but metaphorically speaking, because don't drink and drive.
Yeah, don't do that, guys.
There's your quick PSA. Look, yeah, I agree. This is pretty cut and clear. There are a few matches on here that, in my honest opinion, do feel fairly predictable. Like, depends on how you look at it. Obviously, Mercedes Moné seems predictable on paper. That might be a ruse. Obviously, Toni Storm seems predictable. Will Ospreay seems a little predictable. And I would say the one thing that does feel unpredictable is Anarchy in the arena. Now, Dyson, I was there for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something, man. This shit is awesome.
I can't wait.
So fucking cool. I will never forget seeing Bryan Danielson 2 rows. I was on the hard cam side, so the camera was on my side. I wasn't on camera. I was like where the camera was. And here they are, 2 rows from the hard cam, fighting right next to me. The Wild Thing is playing in the arena. This was the craziest atmosphere I've ever experienced in wrestling. And I've been to, a few WrestleManias, and that's an experience in its own. But something about Anarchy in the arena just is so cool. I'm a big fan of it. You're in for a treat. Trust me. We've got the Elite, your EVPs, Nicholas and Matthew Jackson, Jack Perry, that son of a bitch, and the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. They're going to take on Bryan Danielson, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, and Darby Allin, who has 9 lives apparently, because holy shit.
He's got
in Anarchy arena. What do you think here, Dyson? What chaos do you expect? What are you hoping to see? And who do you got winning?
I'm expecting to see everything and anything. I'm hoping that we see exploding Nikes again, or exploding Young Bucks sneakers. I'm hoping that we see, I'm hoping that we see, rainmakers left and right. Man, I'm hoping that we see all kinds of stuff. I'm ready for Anarchy in the arena. Like, this is gonna be absolutely, like you said, absolutely nuts. I remember watching it on TV, and just thinking, what the hell? Like like you said, Wild Thing playing, kind of like almost like New Jack back in ECW, just like them going crazy, and I'm just like mind blown. So I know I'm in for a treat. I have the EVPs going over the Elite. I think they're gonna get the W. I'm loving what they're doing right now. Like, I felt like they were kind of running a little cold, a couple months back before they had came back and stuff, and and before they had left. And now that they're back and they're doing this whole EVP thing, I've been like locked in, zoned in. So this is their win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm in agreement here with you, man. For the most part, the Elite, this has been very entertaining. Now, I was very critical, to the viewers watching, listening. I was very critical about the showing the footage of the CM Punk Jack Perry thing. I went on a 12-minute rant. This is stupid. But I sounded like all those other annoying wrestling podcasts. So for that, I'm sorry. But I still hold true. At the time, it seemed funky to do that when we didn't have those pieces established with the Young Bucks being, just absolute menaces to their employees and their own company, and then taking out Tony Khan. Now I'm all in for this. I'm backing this. It has my stamp of approval. I think it's super entertaining. They're getting great reception from the crowd, whether good, bad, ugly, or not. The Elite have to win this match because, for me personally, and I know you being a wrestler, being in the industry, when you typically have a team that's established, that has chemistry, going up against a ragtag team of guys that don't really necessarily have that chemistry, there's usually things kind of break down and there might be some tensions that flare. Do you see potentially maybe Bryan butting heads with a Darby Allin, or Darby, or someone butting heads with that team that could cost them the match and their demise here with this?
Sort of, but more so between Bryan and FTR, mainly because if I'm not mistaken, weren't FTR in like a super blood feud with Moxley and Claudio?
Yeah.
And like those are Bryan's boys. So I definitely think that if there are gonna be any kind of hints of tension or anything like that, that's where it's gonna be between FTR and Bryan. I think right now Darby Allin is kind of like he's probably gonna be the one to take the pin, if I'm being honest. Um,
I sense that.
yeah, something tells me he's gonna be the one to take the pin. But yeah, to answer your question as far as like tension and stuff, I think it's gonna be between Bryan and FTR for sure.
Yeah,
If
there's
we
definitely
see
history
anything
there.
like that.
There's definitely history there. Now, when we look at it and the dust has settled and the anarchy has maybe calmed, make sure you don't get any blood on your T-shirt. Don't wear white. I recommend don't wear
I will
white.
not be wearing white, believe me.
You never know, dude. Because I remember 2022, dude. I remember when they got in the crowd, and I don't remember who it was that was just leaking everywhere. I think it was Danny Garcia. It might have been Danny
Lord.
Garcia. He was leaking everywhere. I remember he tripped up and fell on some dude's dude was covered in Danny G's blood. It might have been him, or it might have been Jericho. I can't remember too well. It was Anarchy, right?
I know that guy must have looked crazy going home.
Dude, can you imagine, dude, walking? I mean, it's Vegas. It's the Vegas Strip, so I'm sure you're seeing crazier things. But can you imagine just walking down the strip? It's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Dude's just rolling in, white shirt, just covered in blood. Like, what? What did you just do, bro? What did you just get into? Like,
are you a hitman or something?
yeah, what's going on, dude? Is this? We're going back to our Vegas roots, baby, with the old mob. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It was a chaotic episode. I guess you can call it maybe a little anarchy here on Mouthing Off with Mike. Double or Nothing looks to be a fun show. Make sure you go follow Dyson on social media. He will be at the show. I'm sure he'll be posting some things here and there if he has, the time, because I know when I try to go to shows, I try to watch the matches, right? I know so it's tough being being online or a content creator, or even in your case a wrestler, and you want to watch, you want to take it in, but you also want to be a fan too.
Absolutely. I find it hard as a wrestler because I want to study at the same time as be a fan, and so like I'm like looking for everything. But yeah, I will be there. I'll be taking videos. I'll be posting it on social media for everybody to see. And y'all will be watching it with me too, So
and here's hoping that in a few short time we'll be talking about Top Notch at a Double or Nothing or one of these shows, man. Because we haven't dove into Dyson as the wrestler too much here on Mouthing Off with Mike. It's coming very, very soon in a few weeks. I'm gonna spoil it. He knows it. We've talked about it.
Ready.
We're going to talk. We're going to get into his psyche as a wrestler, what drives him, what motivates him. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow Dyson, and make sure if you are in Northeast Pennsylvania. I don't care if you're in Scranton. I don't care if you're in Wilkes-Barre. I don't care if you're in Stroudsburg, East Stroudsburg, Pittston, Luzerne County. I don't care. If you're in Northeast Pennsylvania, you better be at ECPW Skate Slam to see top-notch Dyson Bennett and the rest of the amazing local Pennsylvania talent wrestle June 7th. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dyson. Am I on the ball here?
You're on the money. You are on the money.
Make sure, if you're in the area, make sure you go check it out. I will be posting it on social media to remind you guys. So will he. And make sure you follow both of us on social media, mainly him, because you want to see him wrestle, ladies and gentlemen. He's a blast to watch.
Both of us. You are killing it. You are killing it in the podcast game. I'm doing my thing in the wrestling game. So we both are all in the same business.
I love it. We all do it for the love of professional wrestling. Dyson, any words you want to let the people leave with here tonight?
Stay top notch. Enjoy Double or Nothing, and follow Mouthing Off with Mike and Top Notch Dyson Bennett on social media, YouTube, and every social media platform.
Let's go. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Dyson for just being top notch. Go out there and enjoy this weekend of pro wrestling.